Bad way to start off the week, of course, but I got plenty of time to recover from it. 0-1, went with Green Bay, didn't pay off. It was a kind of a difficult game to judge. Watching it, the Green Bay game plan was pretty awful. On offense, it seemed like Favre went deep like 8 times and he only threw it 11, I think, and that's just asking for it. I mean, all year Green Bay has, been playing really well offensively because they throw short passes and yet let the receivers get yards after the catch. Sometimes they do go deep and they win, but that's because they've established the short passing game. Like against Denver or Kansas City, they came up with big long ball plays. They're obviously still a good team, and I think they're going to be fine, but what's up with that game plan? It's just weird why you would completely change your game plan for the biggest game all season, at least for them. They ran the ball well, so that wasn't the problem. Obviously, Favre got hurt. Rodgers came in and did what Favre wasn't, and that was, throwing shorter passes and being smarter. So really weird. I don't know what to make of that. Obviously, the Packers' offensive line had their issues. Quarterback was getting hit a lot, whoever it was, Favre or Rodgers. And, on the other side of the ball, Green Bay's defense couldn't have played worse, I think. Gave up 37. They're really lucky it wasn't like 44, that one touchdown that T.O. dropped, which was, pretty comical. They just got lucky on that, right place at the right time and stuff. Crazy. But, all in all, they played horrible. Tari Bigby, I don't know what I'm That Dude sees in him. I know he was good the first month of the season or whatever, but every time I see him, he's committing a penalty, or he's getting burned or something, I don't see it. I think they're better off with Aaron Rouse in there, from what I can tell. I mean, I think he could be something one day. I think that about most players, really. Any player that ever shows me any kind of potential, I think they could grow into something, but I'm not seeing it now. Al Harris looked completely lost out there. I know he's better than that. There wasn't a lot of contesting. Dallas wide receivers closer to the line of scrimmage. I think they should have been jamming more. Pass rush, got a couple of hits on Romo, but ultimately didn't get the job done. Really bad day for their defense, and obviously they'll get Woodson and KGB and Aaron Rouse back, but they just did some really weird things. Al Harris looked like a chicken with his head cut off. It makes you wonder. I think they'll be alright. I think they can go ahead and maybe go 13-3. They might even win out the rest of the year. Favre will be back, I'm pretty sure, against Oakland. Yeah, they got a pretty easy schedule, so 14-2, I could see it. And I think we'll see this matchup again in the NFC Championship game, and obviously Dallas is going to be favored and such, but don't count out Green Bay because there was something weird going on that field on Thursday, and it was a game plan thing that I'll just never understand so long as I live, and who knows, that can change pretty easily. Alright, that being said, I got more picks. Taking the Jets over the Dolphins just because the Fins haven't won a game this year and they haven't shown to me that they're capable of winning a game. They've lost games every which way. They've been blown out. They've lost close games. They've relinquished late leads. Everything you can imagine, and I'm not sure if this team is even capable of winning a game. So both teams are bad, but I guess I'll take the Jets. Indy over Jacksonville. Indy's at home. They might be getting some players back. Jacksonville's good, but I don't think they have enough firepower to compete with Indy yet. And, Indy's off a 10-day rest, so I'm taking Indy. I got Tennessee over Houston. Albert Hainsworth is back, so I expect Tennessee to go on a winning streak to end the season. Maybe squeak into the playoffs. They got some catching up to do now because Cleveland's jumped them over the last couple weeks, but I think Tennessee takes this. San Diego over Kansas City. I think Kansas City's, kind of heading down the crapper now. They had a good start to the season, but I think that's over. I think San Diego can go on the road and pull out a win against a team that's just kind of starting to fall apart. And I'm due to take the opposing team of Seattle, I guess. I picked them every week so far. And I was wondering, am I going to pick against them at any point this year? And I think I'm going to bite this week. We're going on the road where we don't play very well. We're going to the East Coast where we don't play very well. And we're coming off a win against the Rams. And usually after we beat the Rams, we come out flat the next week. That's happened the last 3 times now. We're on a 3-game winning streak. And when we roll off a set of wins like that, sometimes we get relaxed and complacent for our next opponent. And I got a feeling that could happen here. And Philly, they're desperate. They're fighting for a playoff spot. They have to win this game. If they lose this game, it's pretty much over because they'd have to beat Dallas in Dallas, and you got to figure that's not going to happen. So I'm actually going to take Philadelphia. I think that I guess McNabb won't play. Feely's going to go out there, but I trust Feely. I've always liked A.J. Feely. Westbrook is going to play. As for us, DJ Hackett's out. But otherwise, it should be a pretty healthy game. I just think that Philadelphia can win a defensive battle. I don't know, it's a feeling I have. You ever get that feeling that your team's going to lose before the game starts or whatever? I think I got that there. Washington over Buffalo. Washington should come out on an emotional high. They're at home. I think they can beat a Buffalo team that's fallen off the edge after a good, decent start. After a decent couple of weeks, I should say. Minnesota getting Adrian Peterson back. I think they take this game over Detroit. Detroit's on a losing streak, and their weak offensive line and defense are starting to get exposed. I think Minnesota can make a run for a wild card here in the last couple weeks, but it starts with here, and I think they'll do it. I got Carolina over San Francisco. Vinny Testaverde's coming back. I think that gives them a short edge. San Francisco's offense has been doing better since last week. The play calling got better, but I think Carolina can dig deep and find enough to pull out another win. I got St. Louis over Atlanta. Obviously, the Rams are a different team now. Atlanta has, their issues, but neither of these teams are that good. But I think maybe St. Louis can get enough going offensively to pull this one out. I got Denver over Oakland. Denver's pissed after last week, and they're playing for their playoff lives. And Oakland's, Oakland. So I got Denver. I'm taking Cleveland over Arizona. The Cardinals just lost Eric Green and Adrian Wilson. Those are both pretty big blows to their defenses. And Cleveland will go on the road, I think, and find a way to beat Arizona. I think Arizona might come out a little flat after last week, where they just kind of got beat at home by the Niners, a game that they know they should have won against a weak team. So I'm going with Cleveland as they fight to stay alive for the division title. If they win, I think they can do it. I think they will do it, as a matter of fact, if they win this game. If. Chicago over New York. New York has a ton of injuries. Chicago's at home. They're more desperate than New York, and they're playing a little better lately, so I got Chicago. New Orleans over Tampa. Doesn't look like Garcia will play. Even if he does, I think New Orleans is at home. They're desperate. Tampa's lost some of their offensive firepower, I think. So I think New Orleans can find a way to dig it out. Pittsburgh over Cincinnati. I'm very tempted to go with the upset here, but Pittsburgh's really tough to beat at home generally. Cincinnati's just not that good, obviously. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh can pull out a win here, and I got New England over Baltimore for pretty obvious reasons. Baltimore just ain't Baltimore anymore. And those are my picks, so I'm out.